on, everyone? It's Ryan, the Hot Toys Collector, back today with another Hot Toys preview video. It seems Hot Toys is continuing their assault on our collective wallets. So we are going to check out the Infinity Ultron newly announced 6-scale figure from Hot Toys, which is fully die-cast, everybody. We're here on Sideshow.com, but before we get into it, I'd ask if you please drop down, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the little bell for notifications. I appreciate all the support, really trying to grow this channel and bring more great videos to you guys. So, here we are, Sideshow.com, another Hot Toys figure newly announced. We got the Infinity Ultron 6-scale figure by Hot Toys from the What If television show, which is a die-cast figure, everybody. Can you believe this? We are getting a full Ultron style die-cast figure. The first Ultron we got from Age of Ultron, he was plastic. There was no die-cast on him. And on a scale of 1 to 10, he's probably a 4 in my book. I mean, he wasn't really all that great of a figure, but he was okay. So, you can see here, just got a little preview picture here. It looks pretty good. Expected to ship October 2022 to December 2022. So a little bit earlier than the figures we've been getting lately that have been pushed out to 2023 and things like that. So I think the first one that was 2023 was the Iron Strange. He was looking at January 2023. Pretty much every figure since then has been pushed out into 2023. But he's going to be just a year away, which is kind of surprising because I don't see where they're going to be able to reuse a lot of their Iron Man pieces to try to fit this guy because he's bigger and the pieces are a little more different. But who am I to judge, right? So about the 6-scale figure, I'm about to bring peace in our time to every corner of the universe. I can't really do an Ultron voice, but that is Infinity Ultron in episode 8 of What If. So in that episode, Ultron not only succeeds in merging with Vision, but also gains the power of the Infinity Stones when Thanos, the Mad Titan, comes to Earth. I think he goes to Titan. I don't think he goes to Earth. I think he shows up on Titan to fight what he would be the Avengers, would be Tony Stark and Doctor Strange and them, but he sees Vision Ultron, or Infinity Ultron, or Ultron. I guess it's just Ultron at that point. It's not really Vision, because he's already merged with Vision, so he's just Ultron. Wielding this unstoppable power, Ultron takes his grudge against organic life through the vast reaches of space, intending to wipe clean the entire multiverse. So if you've watched this episode, Thanos shows up on Titan, sees Ultron, Ultron turns, uses the Mind Stone, and cuts Thanos in half, which, well, why didn't he just do that in Infinity War? That was just a way for them to move up the plot, move up the story, I guess. And then, of course, he gets all the stones, realizes what he can do, and then all of a sudden he realizes that he's being watched by the Watcher, and then he breaks through into the Watcher's domain, and that's when the Watcher goes off and tries to grab as many heroes that he can from different multiverses that can help him defeat Ultron. So to expand on the multiverse display, Sideshow and Hot Toys are excited to introduce Infinity Ultron as an amazing detailed 6-scale die-cast collectible figure from the What If collection. Yes, he is die-cast, which is very exciting. I think he's going to be very well done. I'm surprised a little bit by the $425 price tag. I was expecting, when I heard he was die-cast this morning, when I saw this announcement, I was expecting $450 to $475. Because, you know, we're going to see he's about 39 centimeters tall. In the next paragraph here, skillfully crafted based on the appearance of Infinity Ultron in the animated series, the diecast figure, standing 39 centimeters in height, which is just about a little over 15 inches, features a newly developed helmeted head sculpt with LED light-up function on eyes and Mind Stone, highly detailed helmet with LED light-up function and magnetic flip-up design. So the Vision head is going to be light up. The Ultron head mask is going to be light up, and multiple layers of titanium gray and matted gold paint application on the armor embedded with LED light up Infinity Stones. So the chest is going to light up. Most noticeable for its signature double-headed spear, which you can see there on the left, and figure stand. So you can add him to your Marvel collection today. So they didn't mention the cape. Yes, it is embedded with bendable wire, so it's got the bendy wire in it, which is nice. That's always helpful when you're doing your poses. So let's take a look at the figure itself. Zoom in a little bit here, so you can see. You can kind of see the Vision style head underneath the flip down Ultron faceplate, we'll call it. You can see it's got the same shoulder pieces that the Age of Ultron had, which kind of became a little bit troublesome when you were doing your poses. And the fact that he was plastic wasn't helping that much either, because the weight from his upper body being so big, the legs, especially on mine, the joints and the legs on mine have started to weaken, so he's a little bit harder to put into poses. But he's still an okay figure. Scale of 1 to 10, he's probably around a 4 or a 5 for me. He's not anything too fancy. You don't get any accessories with him. You just get the base that lights up, thankfully. At least that's something, right? And the, his chest area was all open, so when you inserted the batteries, it would, when you turned them on, it give off this red glare through his chest. As you can see, this one's all closed off. It's got a little bit more armor added to it, and of course he's got his Infinity Stones there for light up capabilities. I think the figure looks fine. I think it looks okay. Nothing too fancy about it, but at the same time, I love that it's die cast. I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping that you're not going to see a lot of scratching right in here. That kind of worries me right off the bat. That as you try to lift this arm up, this piece is going to fold over the top, and you might see some scratching right in there if you're not careful. So that might be something you want to take a look at when you get your figure in a year, hopefully. Another picture here, just kind of floating up in space. Looks really solid. I like the cape. I like this gold stripe here on the bottom. I think that's a nice touch. It sets off with the gold in his armor, which looks really good. The double-headed spear looks really nice. Very well done. I'm assuming that's probably going to be, plastic, that's not going to be die cast. We can go back to the other page and look. I'll tell you what, why don't we just do that? But I'm assuming that spear is probably plastic. It just says one double-headed spear. So I would think that piece is probably going to be plastic. It's probably not going to be die cast. Most of the time, the weapons they do are going to be plastic. The hands will probably be plastic as well, but I would say everything else on him is going to be die cast. There we get a look at the stand. Looks really nice. Infinity Ultron. What If? It's that same style stand that we've seen with Venom and the Thanoses from Endgame. And then you get the nice look with the cape there. Looks really good. I mean, so it looks to me like the stand probably just goes, I don't know if you're really going to be able to get him in a too dynamic pose, like say like a pose like that, without trying to do something else. You might be able to, I don't know. But it looks to me like this is probably about as high as this is going to go. So he might just be standing, because he's a tall figure. 15 inches is a tall figure. You look there down on top, looks really good. There he's going to use the spear, which I don't really remember him using that spear that much. I mean, why would he need to use the spear? He has the Infinity Stones, right? That looks really good. I think the spear's pretty tall. I mean, think about it. This is 15 inches, so he's over a foot, so you probably got another 5 to 6 inches to the top of that spear. So he is not going to fit in a Detolf with that spear in this pose. He will not fit in a Detolf. There is no way. I mean, he'll fit in a Detolf, but you can't have the 4 shelves. You're going to have to take out a shelf to fit him that way. I mean, the Thanos doesn't fit. The first Ultron doesn't fit unless you kind of hunch him down a little bit. Hulk doesn't fit. So that's the only way you're going to get him to fit, is if you go with, you take out a shelf and then make it a 3 shelf, which you can do by modifying. Make it a 3 shelf Detolf instead of a 4 shelf. Looks really good there. I mean, there's not a lot to him, honestly. I mean, you're going to get a few hands to hold the spear, but the only accessory you're getting is that spear. That's a cool pose. That'd probably be the pose I would do some photoshopping with, do some pictures with. Like he's rising up. There's a little bit better look there, closer up. So we finally get a close-up shot. Let's zoom in a little bit here. You see, so these are going to light up. That's going to light up. Of course, all these are going to light up. What I think would be interesting, you know, so we've gotten, going back on what we've got from the What If series, we've gotten Captain Carter, we've gotten the Hydra Stomper and Steve Rogers. We've gotten Infinity Ultron now, and we have gotten Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. And I believe that's it. I think that's it. So what I think would be cool, I don't know if they'll do it, but I think there's a good chance now that we've gotten Infinity Ultron. I'd like to see the Gamora figure in the Thanos armor with the Thanos sword. I'd like to see Star-Lord T'Challa. I'm really surprised we have not gotten the Star-Lord T'Challa. I'm more surprised that he hasn't been released than this one getting announced. Because I feel like that he was such a... Because of the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman, and that being his final, you know, appearance in the MCU, I'm really surprised that we have not gotten that figure yet. There's been a lot of want for that figure. A lot of people have been asking for that figure. Hey, can we get it? Can we get it? And then they come out with him, which, you know, I'm not one to judge Hot Toys' schedule and production wise and what they can and can't do license wise and, you know, things like that. But it really surprises me that we have not gotten the Star-Lord T'Challa, considering how popular he was in the series. And the Watcher is another figure. You know, if we're going to do Infinity Ultron, why not do the Watcher? Is he down the line at some point? I think that'd be a great figure to have on your shelf. You know, you could kind of pose him a little bit with the Stan Lee from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 to kind of recreate that. Although the Watchers that he was around are, you know, there's a lot of Watchers. Uatu is not the only Watcher. There are plenty of Watchers in the multiverse. And I'm not even sure that Uatu is the Watcher we got in the What If series, because he never says his name. He just says, I'm the Watcher, right? So Uatu is supposed to be the Watcher of our universe in the Marvel Comics. He is the Watcher in our universe. He's the one that first comes to Earth when Galactus and Silver Surfer, well, really when Silver Surfer comes to Earth first to herald, you know, as Galactus's herald in Fantastic Four 48. And he's the one that talks with Fantastic Four. He's on the cover of Fantastic Four. His first appearance was in Fantastic Four 13 as more of a side story, but that's where they started him, and then he shows up again a few different times, and then he shows up again more in that prominent role in Fantastic Four 48, which is the beginning of arguably one of the greatest storylines in Marvel Comics history, Galactus and Silver Surfer, which has spawned unbelievable, you know, different comic stories and everything like that. Especially with Norrin Radd, the Silver Surfer, who is one of my favorite characters, and I have my fingers crossed that we're going to get him in the Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four movie that's coming up in a couple years, and then we can get him in figure form. That would be amazing. So, just continuing on here with Infinity Ultron, after my little spiel about why haven't we gotten some of the other figures. Okay, here we get our first actual look at the Vision head sculpt. So, this is going to light up. So, my question is, I wonder, the light up batteries and feature are going to be in here. Now, this is the flip up helmet. Now, is there going to be, do we get an additional helmet that comes over the top that's going to light up, or does this just slide over the top and then these lights are supposed to light up these lights? Because if that's the case, unless it's a very powerful light source for the eyes and the Mind Stone, I don't think you're going to get a lot of light out of the front plate like what we see here. I think this has all been photoshopped and added to enhance that light feature. Because let's be honest, the light features in these figures are very hit and miss. You will get some, especially with Iron Man, you'll get some of the light sources for the arc reactors look like absolute spotlights. You can't even look at them. And then you'll get some that hardly light up at all, and you can actually see the details of the arc reactor. A prime example is if you go back and look at one of my videos that I just posted about a week ago, the Mark 7 Iron Man diecast. The light up reactor for the diecast figure isn't very bright, but the light up reactor for the original battle damaged Mark 7, which I have, is basically a spotlight. And I've had that thing for what, probably 3 years, 4 years, and the batteries have been in that thing the whole time, and that thing still works. And it's just weird. It's very hit and miss. We get a better look here at the Vision head sculpt. I mean, I think the head sculpt looks pretty solid. Looks great from what we've gotten from Vision for the Vision head sculpts, you know. But again, I just wonder if this is supposed to slide down and these lights are supposed to light up these, because I just don't see that being very bright. I just don't see it being this bright. I would have preferred if they would have just colored these in red and yellow to give it that look of light up style function. And then if they wanted to, they could have saved this to be the only light up function. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. And then here is the final look, the title card page. See here. I think it's a solid looking figure. I really do. I mean, we're only going to get a couple hands, a couple spear hands, and then probably one hand to hold the spear. It looks like you can only hold the spear in his right hand. Fisted left hand, open and open pair of hands, which I think probably have articulated fingers. As you can see here, this hand right here looks to be, the fingers look to be kind of curled in a little bit, and then these are flat open, so I'm assuming that those are articulated fingers on those. So that's it for the Infinity Ultron. That's it for the pictures. Like I said, he's $425. He's available on Sideshow right now for pre-order. They do payment plans, so if you want to do that instead, then you can. Just going down here. Product size, yeah, height 15.35 inches, 39 centimeters. And it doesn't say how heavy he is, but if he's die cast and he's this big, he's going to be heavy. You know he's going to be heavy. So, and I want to say this would probably be the, will this be the biggest die cast figure we've gotten? I think it would be. Because the only other bigger figures would be the Ironmonger, which was plastic. Igor, which was plastic. Peacemaker and Red Snapper are pretty good size. They're probably a little bit smaller than Ultron, Infinity Ultron. Those were all plastic. Age of Ultron, Ultron was plastic. Of course, Hulk isn't die cast. The Hulkbuster is probably, yeah, the Hulkbuster would be the biggest one that we've gotten that would be die cast, the original Hulkbuster. The one from Infinity War is a Power Pose, which he's plastic. But the Hulkbuster would be the biggest die-cast figure we've gotten. I'm sure he's, you know, he probably, I don't know how tall he is. I want to say he's like, he's got to be double this size. I'll tell you what, we can go over here and find out. So let's just find out, shall we? Because we don't really get a lot of bigger die-cast figures. And he is available on Sideshow still if you want to pick up this massive monster for $1,155. And they do payment plans. Let's see here. Yeah, I do not have him. He's 21 inches. So he's not quite, so actually Ultron is going to be a little bit, he's going to be pretty comparable to him. I'm surprised. For some reason, I thought he was over 2 feet tall, but he's not. Now, if you add the spear to Ultron in that one pose where you saw just holding the spear to the side and it was sticking straight up, he's probably as tall, if not taller, than the Hulkbuster. So that's going to be it for this video. Appreciate everybody watching. Please like and subscribe. Drop down in the comments below. Let me know if you're planning on picking up the Infinity Ultron, or if you're just going to wait for him to come out and then pick him up. I know a lot of people like to do that. They don't like to pre-order. But just let me know in the comments below. And thank you all for watching. And as always, we'll see you in the next video.